Hey, good morning, guys. Beautiful day here in Georgia. We're at Mr. Greg Adams' house. We're going to be attempting to repair a shingle here. That means we're going to be pulling one out and we're going to be replacing it with one. Address is 161 Summerfield Drive. For the adjuster watching, I'd like to show you guys the tools that I'll be using. As you can see, all of my tools are well used except for this hammer. I just got myself a new hammer. I love my new hammer. Anyways, not the point. As you guys can see here, you can see where this shingle is clearly wind damaged. It's almost to the point so badly that you know, it's pretty much ripping along this wind crease line. You guys can see there's a little bit of debris here around, so I'm just gonna use my hand here to clear it out, and then I'm gonna use this approved roofing tool designed by engineers to break shingles, seals, and install nails. And I'm just gonna go ahead and carefully as I can break the seals on the shingle directly above to see if I can figure out which tab this damaged shingle is a part of. It looks to me like this is a middle tab. So it goes 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3 would be our area of repair right there. And I'm just gonna go ahead and just make sure all of these shingles are loose, including the shingle itself, kind of clearing off any debris. All right. Notice I'm not jamming this tool in super hard. I am just using the necessary amount of force to be able to break these seals. All right, if we can get an overview of the area we're working with, starting with these three, just kind of close up, move along so they can see the condition of these shingles before we start pulling any nails out or anything like that. All right, so that you guys can see the condition of these shingles before. You have a clear before. All right, let's get a close-up here of this shingle right here. So we're gonna be pulling a nail up under this shingle right here. Let's get a close-up of that one. All right, you guys can see the condition of that shingle. I'm gonna lift just slightly. Notice I'm not cranking back. Looking for a nail. Let me take my glasses off. It's kind of shady here. All right, I've identified my nail, and I'm just going to go ahead and pull that nail out. Now with that minimal amount of lifting, I'm just going to tap it a couple times so that gravity can do its thing. And you guys can see pretty clearly here. Let's get a close up. Starting on this side, you guys can see where this fiberglass matting is cracked. It's broken on this shingle. You can see where that that matting is actually broken. It didn't look like that prior. Let's go ahead and get a close up of this next one. I'm just kind of cleaning off all the debris on it. Yep. I'll lift up just slightly, looking for that nail, and I just want to slightly tap. Notice I'm not cranking the shingle back super far, only about 45 degrees if we can get a side view of this. Only enough room to be able to work up under the shingle. All right, pull that nail out, give it a couple taps. There's a lot of debris. And if you guys can see here on this shingle, you guys can see pretty clearly up at the top where that fiberglass matting is cracked. It's broken, where that shingle is actually worse off than it was before I pulled that nail out. All right, let's go on to the next one. All right, and the before, here's the during. Notice I'm not lifting up super high, only about 40 degrees, not even 45. Just enough room to be able to get my tool up under there and work. Yep, and you guys can see that during. All right, as I just pretty easily pull that nail out. A lot of debris on these shingles, but if you can see up here at the top of this shingle, you can see where that fiberglass matting is cracked. It's broken, where that shingle is actually in worse condition than it was before I pulled the nail out. All right, on to the next one. Let's get before that. All right. We're gonna lift just slightly. Just enough to be able to identify where that nail's at. Notice I'm not cranking back on the shingles. And with each hammer blow, whenever I pull a nail out, these shingles seem to be kind of a common theme here. If we can get it before that shingle, you can see where the fiberglass matting along this shingle right here is cracked. It's broken. You can see where that fiberglass did not hold up, where that matting is actually broken. Similar to kind of like in this wind damage one where this is actually aged. You can see where that's really cracked. All of these are starting to show that that damage. All right, so let's go on to the second course for the adjuster watching. You know, there's two courses of shingles in each shingle. So let's get a close-up overview of this next shingle that we're going to be working on. All right, and I'm just going to lift just slightly, just enough to be able to identify where the nail's at. Use my tool to pull that bad boy loose. I just want to make sure that there's not a second one here. Okay, there's not. And blow off some of that debris. And you can see pretty clearly up at the top portion of the shingle where that fiberglass matting is cracked. It's broken. All right, let's go on to the next one. We go before. All right. During. Just enough room to be able to pull my tool up under there. Identify where the nail's at. Not cranking back. Being pretty gentle with this roof. Just enough to be able to work. All right, if we can get a close up of the top portion of this shingle, you can see along the top where that fiberglass matting is actually cracked. It's broken. On to the next. Gotta go before that. Here's the next one. All right, we're gonna lift just slightly, just enough to be able to identify where that nail's at. Just enough room to be able to work up under, pull that nail out. Just want to make sure there's nothing else under there. All right, kind of blow off that debris, and you can see along the top portion of this shingle right here, you can see where that fiberglass matting is cracked, broken. Seems to be a really common theme here on this roof. All right, now we're just gonna slide this old shingle out as there's no more nails in it. Something I want to point out to you guys here first on this shingle is you can see the chunks of the shingle from above it that's not getting replaced, actually still stuck to this, which means that the bottom side of these shingles are that much thinner because they're actually ripped to this one underneath. The second thing I'd like to point out is you can see this middle shingle here was our wind damaged shingle, and you can see all this debris right here. There's a lot of debris on the roof. You can see where this debris was driven up in there by the rain. You can see directly above this wind damaged shingle, you can see where there's that debris from that wind driven material, and you can see on the underlayment where that wind driven rain is actually soaked into that underlayment as well. Also the second course, if you guys want to take a peek up under here real quick, I'm going to try to be as careful as I can, but you guys can see the chunks of the materials being stuck together, and then underneath right here you can see where that shingle's a lot thinner and in worse condition because it's actually just ripping apart. So let's go ahead and we'll slide the new shingle in. Yep. Clean up our work area, kind of get some of that debris out of the way. All right. Slide it up into place, make sure our reveal is correct, make sure it fits. It does. I know the shingle color doesn't exactly match, but that's not the point here. And then I'm just going to be going ahead and everywhere I pull the nail out, I'm going to be putting one back in. So I'm going to be using this roof snake tool is what the nickname for it is, and it's just a limit so I don't have to put my whole fist. And I love this hammer, it's got a good weight to it. So I don't have to use my whole fist with a nail in it to get up under the shingle, limits any kind of lifting or anything like that. You see max altitude of these lifts throughout this entire repair has been no more than about 40 or 45 degrees from its plane of existence. Yep, and you guys can see with each and every hammer blow how this roof's becoming worse and worse. All right, and remember the next one had 2 nails in it. Drive that home. Next one. We're gonna get it started. Drive that home. Got 2 more nails to install here, guys, in the second course. All right, and as I drive this last nail home, you guys can see clearly throughout each and every step of this process how any kind of a spot repair, especially in a quantity of more than a couple shingles, is not going to leave this home in a pre-loss condition for multiple reasons. One is the obvious brittleness of the shingles surrounding. They're all broken. They're all going to end up in worse shape than this shingle over here as time goes on, and that is from the immediate damage from this repair. The second reason is because of that mat transfer that we talked about and we showed you guys on both courses, where shingles are actually ripping together. And the fourth reason is because of all the debris and the wind-driven rain driven up under this existing wind-damaged shingle, where it's actually soaked into the underlayment, which is not supposed to happen. But for those very reasons, we can't do a repair like this and restore a home to a pre-loss condition. This actually leaves it in worse condition than any kind of attempt at repair would do.